What's the glue that binds families in business? What machines make magic? And what magic happens from a sleight of hand? Food from the streets became a country's pride. The humble, the simple, the complex, the unusual. They fed the good times and the bad. Here at the table are the stories of the people who lined the belly of a nation. The last time we saw her, she was busy bowling. Debbie is the fourth generation of a business still managed by her grand aunt. The millennial was pulling in the lunchtime office crowd with a spin on Tze Char. But like many in the CBD, the business hit a speed bump. They survived the fallout from COVID restrictions.
Slowly seeing the business, the CBD crowd back into the area, so we are very happy for that.
But the kitchen dynamics have changed. Debbie didn't have to cook in the evenings before. The night chefs did that. Now, one has left, and the other, Golo, plans to retire.
So with one less manpower means I have to take on more roles. Now I have to cook, and then I have to wash, and then I have to take orders as well. And serve. I got two hands, so I try to do as much as all this as I can. But if it gets really, really busy, then I will just focus on cooking. And then my grand aunt will just take on the ordering role a little bit more. I actually realized, I come to see that she is more receptive, she is more open to change nowadays.
The menu at night is far from hipster. It's tradition. With more night cooking duties, Debbie gets a lot of practice at Tze Char, a local portfolio term for dishes that are cooked to order. The style often requires skilled wokworks.
Customers, they'll say, you look very young, but the way when we eat your food, it tastes like it's being cooked by a very experienced chef. Yeah, they say, not I say.
One classic Tze Char dish is Beef Horfun, stir-fried slivers of tender beef served on thick strands of rice noodles. Beef and rice just works as a combo. And common as the Beef Horfun is the little-known Nasi Rawon. It's the signature dish of a mother-daughter team.
My name is Filzah Miranti binti Muhammad Daud.
I'm Johanna Johan,
I'm 31 this year.
59 years old. I'm selling authentic rice in Geylang Serai Hawker Center.
All the traditional Malay cuisine lah.
Their business was first begun by their matriarch in the 1950s, and her recipes have been preserved right down to the fourth generation, Filzah. Their selling points are little-known Indonesian dishes, Nasi Rawon and Nasi Jenganan.
Nasi Rawon consists of beef stew, that's the special gravy, and it complements with dishes like bergedil, sambal sotong, tempe and paru.
These require time-consuming preparations, and with customers lining up from as early as 7 in the morning, the ladies have to hustle.
We will start as early as 11 p.m., midnight. Also, then we will start our routine to wash our vegetables, wash our meat, and all the small ingredients.
The highlight of Rawon is buah keluak. It's a fruit that's native to Southeast Asia. When fresh, buah keluak is extremely poisonous. The nuts have to be soaked for days. Only then can the kernels be used. They are pulped and stuffed into the shells as they do in the Peranakan dish babi or ayam buah keluak, or blended like in Rawon. which is cooked with beef strips in a peppery spiced stock.
When you put inside the rawon to make it as a stock lah.
Originally a beef soup from East Java, rawon recipes are passed down from mother to daughter over generations.
My great-grandmother is from Indonesia.
Madam Parma binti Tufa. She came here at the age of 15 years old. Then she set up the stall here at Geylang Serai Market that time. Somewhere around here lah.
It's not unusual for a woman to set up a Nasi Padang business. In fact, it's a traditional pattern.
Woman will stay at home, will cook for the husband, cook for the family. That is why women can do all this business lah.
Filzah, a former technician in chemical engineering, conformed to the pattern, but not without some changes.
Ini 20. So basically, when I also started off, we only use woks. So I told her that, we should make a bit of changes so that it will be easier for us to have a systematic kind of routine inside the shop.
Please admire the combi oven, an appliance that can steam, bake, fry, etc., etc. It has made life simpler, especially when it comes to fried dishes like the Indonesian-style omelette. Normally, it's individually prepared. But with the combi oven, you can bulk it into the combi caverns and, wait for it, voila, telur dadah.
She asked me to try combi. At first, I don't like it. Now I have it until one time the combi give away. Alamak, why this combi give away was so troublesome. And now she asked me to do. Now, mommy, we do frozen. I said, don't want lah, we can. Not nice or what? Why you want to do frozen, which we can do fresh? No, it's very good for us. It's very convenient. And it's very fast. Everything already. You don't need to be pulang kabut. Like that lah. So now, I hook on it.
At least we have a systematic way that in future, I hope that we can get like younger generation to help us out.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like her idea.
One thing high-tech can't deal with is dead mollusks, which in time will become the ever-popular Instagrammable sambal tumis sotong. This is made with dried cuttlefish called sotong, which in Malay is a generic term for all kinds of cephalopod, dried or fresh. This sotong used to be a cuttlefish. It now has to be cut to size and soaked in alkaline water.
So now, secret ingredient.
The little bomb is abuchang or kichang or soda carbonate, which will revive the sotong overnight. Ready to swim again in wonderful sauces. Even though the stall has assistants, only mother and daughter know the recipes. And even though the daughter has come into the scene, the mother still plays a dominant role.
She's been running for almost 35 years. To let her stop just abruptly, it's impossible.
Now ready to take over, she give birth. So I have to come back. And she get more babies, and then you stop totally at that time, then you can concentrate. That's what I did before.
Okay, we are very close. I may be your daughter, but when I work, I'm your staff. You're my boss. I keep it that way.
Diorang dah bilang.
Kita diskon first. Juga isi hari ni. Apa nak turun lagi? Nanti lah.
Helping at the stall are family members like Aunt Julie, who takes the front of service. Sometimes, however, her help can get in the way.
No, I said the sound because it affect the...
Suddenly,
Sorry. Okay. You cannot sit there, you have to sit there.
now I still have my sister to help me. My uncle still can help me. My cousin still can help me, but not my. When Filzah take over, it's a very big problem with the workers. So difficult to get workers.
How Filzah will cope with the future is a story we will tell in the future.
Of course, I'm proud of her. Yeah. I hope she can carry the legacy.
Geylang Serai Food Centre was created 60 years ago, and after several renovations, sits on top of a wet market. The venue is totally halal. Out in the CBD is Chinatown Complex, also a market hawker centre combo and almost non-halal. Here, a high-end chef has found a home. The hawker centre has a wide range of food, but it's a challenge for a low-carb diner. Rice and its byproducts dominate the offerings. One dish in particular makes use of milled rice, the high-end Cheong Fun. It's prepared by a former executive chef who runs a stall with his family.
我係梁子湛，57年出世。我而家喺呢度咧賣腸粉，梁師傅腸粉嘅店係96號。賣香港粥。
My name is Lucas. I'm 33 this year. So every day I will drive my parents down, so they will come and set up the store while I have to go and park the car.
Within the 8.5 square meters, various custom-designed pieces form a workspace for a professional who once worked in a grand hotel. The family works quietly, on autopilot. What could have been done the day before has been done. But not chok.
That's like the porridge cooking need a 2-hour process.
Chok is one style of rice porridge. It's unlike the Teochew Moe, which is watery with rice grains still intact. Instead, chok is boiled to a gruel.
有三種米料嚟要煲，要有功夫啊！煲粥你咧仲要睇順住次序去搞，咁唔係話哇你係立亂咁搞，煲粥嘅出嚟咧就冇咁靚。
So while the porridge is cooking, then we also make the ingredients for the porridge. Like say the meatballs, the ribs, yeah, and all that.
One of the all that is prawns. These are pounded into a paste and shaped into balls called ha khao, not to be confused with ha gao, the prawn dumpling.
而家呢個練蝦球，新加坡人最中意賣㗎，咁即係同你會賣嘅，佢最爭啲嘅。因為蝦球咧做海鮮粥嘅，唔係瘦肉粥啊，粥都係打得粒嘅，因為呢個又還有呢個脆口。
Hand pounding proteins into meat paste requires功夫. That's Cantonese for skills.
要打，都你唔打過嘅咧，個膠冇咁好。佢打過嘅，哇出嚟個膠又大，即係唔係機器打嘅，我哋用手嚟打。嗰啲刷到佢起膠。 再用之後打到佢呢個有黏性、有彈性，咁樣先啦，為之爽脆嘅、爽口嘅。
Chok and Cheong Fun are items in any dim sum menu. This is a specialized genre of Cantonese cuisine for which the chef needs years to train and a lifetime to learn. Both husband and wife are dim sum chefs.
我和我先生在上海认识的，然后我们大家都从事做点心的工作。
我17歲左右咧就出嚟跑啦，即係知道
老豆都係揾錢係辛苦嘅，咁樣自己唔好再俾壓力佢啊，咁樣之後咧就入行咧做過好多行，都冇咩啱咧，就尾後做食好似好急，尾後做嗰個點心咯，差不多8幾年咧就去上海啦，去上海希爾頓酒店大廚啊、總廚啊、啲鬼佬啊，就帶埋我哋一齊過嚟新加坡。喺內佛士酒店做，喺91年10月左右咧又過到嚟。
He has been with Raffles for, I think, for his entire career. Yeah. Then after that, he got retired, and during COVID, he starts making like breakfast at home, and like we pretty much like his Cheong Fun, and we think that he should start a Cheong Fun business.
At his children's urging, Chef Leung set up the hawker business when the worst of COVID was over. Good choice, because Chinatown is a place where rice is demanded by serial eaters. The queue starts at lights up.
After the porridge is done, then it will be pretty much that the store is going to open it's around like maybe 6:30. Then we also like prep for the Cheong Fun.
Cheong Fun is rice flour batter with sheets that are steamed over well-greased metal plates. It's tricky to make. Chef Leung's customers have a choice of fillings: prawns, char siu, or just plain. A special feature of Leung's Cheong Fun is the fancy ripples, perhaps to resemble more its moniker. Cheong Fun means intestine roll because it looks like it. Cheong Fun isn't commonly found in hawker centres. Instead, there's the humbler version called Cheong Fun, and it means pig's intestine roll. Usually a tighter roll, it's perfectly fine for vegans because it's made plain and served with a hoisin-based sauce. Not satisfied with serving high-end fare in a hawker centre, Chef Leung even mills rice for the Cheong Fun.
我哋用新鮮嘅米咧去磨，就經過10粒鐘以上嘅嚟去浸透，之後咧再洗乾淨。洗乾淨咧係用嗰個磨嚟，即係石磨嚟磨嘅，磨出嚟咧又軟又滑。
Needless to say, it was too much work for just 2 people, so Lucas came in to help.
So before that, I studied aerospace. Then I got into the Air Force. Then when my dad said he needs help, so I just left the force and joined him here.
Chinatown Complex, created in the early 80s, housed the remaining street hawkers of the area. Produce sellers below, cooks on top. Food flows both ways. Bon, the younger son, was a chef at a Western-styled restaurant and also quit to join the family business full-time.
兩公婆啊，同埋老婆個仔，大仔開檔啊，咁啊生意啊太好啦，嗰個時間太長，咁樣嘅睇見咧就，佢話老豆，我不如落嚟幫你啦咁，我話哇求之不得真係哇開心啊！
我觉得这是我一生中，如果当我回忆的话，不好意思。
Which is happy, like you know that we all come together as a family to open a store. I guess that's it. Yeah.
OK， 我觉得我的孩子们都很孝顺。他们是怕父母太累。如果我回忆的话，这一生我觉得是蛮幸福的。他们喜欢做生意， 也是喜欢就是做自己的，就是把这个当成事业来做。
Actually, I like to interact with people. I also make quite a few friends among all the elderlies. Yeah, so every time I walk around in Chinatown now, right, nowadays, yeah, they always say hi to me and oh, how is it going, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
It's Wednesday. Business is slow. His sons manage the cooking.
Everyone's role is quite versatile in a way. Yeah, everyone can cover each other.
Chef Leung has a leisurely breakfast and then makes some neighbors happy.
Đại家有心事啊，講下、交流下、飲下嘢、食下嘢都幾開心下嘅。咁樣唔係做嗰啲傾埋晒啲唔等使嘅嘢啊、冇用嘅嘢啊咁樣咯。大家係講食材，研究下嘢啊，咁交流下咁樣咯。咁咪變咗大家都開心咯。落嚟我哋而家雖然係搞嗰個腸粉粥，第一步，第二步咧有可能擴充到呢個揾到檔再擴大點心之類。
As with many hawkers, the family has plans to go upwards and outwards.
啊，刚才你看这边这个档口，这间店啊，但是这边好像不是很多人这样。人家那边也是有一个开子 ，It's quite quiet here. Yeah, I have to wait for the next month. So every month, if they were released for bidding, so we have to wait for the next month.
佢有諗過想開一檔，另外開一檔咧就呢個做呢個小籠包小食啊，各方面嘅上海嘢啊，但係我哋攞咗幾次都攞唔到檔口。
It's the same hope and disappointment faced by many hawkers as they attempt to branch out. Debbie, the fourth-generation Tze Char hawker, however, has gone way beyond her comfort zone. The busy Tze Char millennial is asking for more trouble. She has gone back to school.
Yeah, I think that this year I actually hope to reach out a little bit more to probably schools. I'm trying to reach out to some secondary school, yeah, and give them a talk on basically why did I choose this path, or what are the what are the milestones and what are the happiness that I get from this job. I think I was just shocked at how liberal the students are nowadays, That's my first time speaking to a class of students. We are selling fried chicken, so they might not be able to relate to what I'm trying to say. As much as I try. I myself don't like to eat. Why? To pay Uncle Raymond? No need. No need. At the end of the 1 hour talk, I had no voice for the rest of the day. I am a hawker. Not sure you guys know. I am a hawker. So today I want to share with you a little journey on my own journey as a young hawker. After that engagement session that I have with them, I'll be working with them a little bit more on this, where I'll set up a booth and then we'll try to sell our dishes. So I think on the day itself, I hope that the students can be a little bit more hands-on.
In contrast, another hawker has gone into immersive art.
So I get to pursue two different passions of mine. So one, feeding people with food, and the other one, passion for art. Yeah.
Redha joined her hawker parents and sister with an unusual Malay dish called Nasi Ulam. After a year in the business, she wanted to pull out to work in an art gallery.
So when I announced that I was stepping back away, I had more publicity than before about my Nasi Ulam. So we had hordes of people coming in. So then I couldn't step away.
So after cooking for a few hours in the morning, I rush over here to help this bunch of entrepreneurs as well pursue the passion for art.
And because Redha now has one foot in the art world, the family got creative in space. Sister Kira, who used to have her own warung next door, moved in to share Redha's shop. The parents then moved into Kira's warung from their own shop behind. Got it? Good.
The back kitchen where my mom used to be is now just like a backup kitchen.
This one. Okay.
The task of sourcing for herbs and other ingredients hasn't changed. For 5 days a week, their shopping expedition begins at 3. Luckily, there isn't far to go. The first stop is just downstairs.
Yang ini nak ambil berapa, Mak? Aku order no today.
Jual 12. Macam
30.
30 packet. 30 packet. Wah, carton lah.
Not too much.
Apa? April sekarang sudah murah tau. Apa? Free.
Oh,
ya. Ya. Sekarang sudah murah tau, masak. It's also our friend. Debbie Yam. She know me. For me?
There are pockets of places in suburban Singapore with night markets where hawkers can access wholesale-priced vegetables and fruit. This is just one of 2 shopping trips.
Our veggie every day must have this one. My customer like this one.
Ma, dah ambil serai. Ma, serai dah ambil. Carrot dah ambil.
Kira cili padi ya, tekan eh? Cili padi.
Huh? Cili padi?
The pre-dawn conversations center around a shopping list.
We don't have a kira.
There's more to buy and many places to go.
That's market 1. Get the vegetables. Then go to drop the vegetables at Amoy Street at the shop.
If you go, then it'll be faster.
To charge my phone.
For some reason, they need to hustle today.
Cashier, we literally have to run. I have a lot of things on that, so we have to rush. Every day, I'm preparing my restaurant.
Nasi Lemak is rice cooked in coconut milk or santan. Hugely aromatic with pandan leaves, also known as daun pandan or screw pine leaves. This dish has to be ready for breakfast. The most basic nasi lemak has the sweet chili sauce and a slice of cucumber, sometimes an egg. Or more, like fried fish, chicken, and definitely fried anchovies called ikan bilis. With peanuts or kacang, all of which needs hot oil that also needs attention, or else. Since the kitchen is still smoking, it's time to run away.
Then she proceeds to drive to Geylang, market number 2, to get the raw produce, meats and more vegetables and more spices. And whatever that I need comes from her. So she's my shopper.
The Indonesian herbs all can get in Geylang. Other market don't have.
Like the market we went to just now, which doesn't sell.
Selling Nasi Padang or food business, all go there, must go Geylang.
In the half-hour car ride, father-daughter have a typical father-daughter conversation.
Give me your phone. No?
Yeah.
You didn't give me your phone. Since when you gave me your phone?
Just now.
This is my phone charging. I didn't
Give it to you last week.
I did not take your phone, Abba. How am I supposed to call you now? I used to stay in Doha, and when I came back here, I didn't have a job, and my husband, he's like still finding a job because he's a foreigner. So I helped out my mom her shop for say 2 years, and from there I picked up the business. I mean, she taught me how to cook stuff, and then slowly the interest grew in me to set up my own stall.
After 1 year, I asked her, okay, you go ahead yourself. You cannot follow me already. You do your own business. But now you try what you can cook, you cook.
One of the dishes in Kira's menu is the Indonesian-styled grilled chicken, or ayam bakar.
And I tweaked it a little bit here and there along the way, and then that's how I got my own menu, my own recipe along the way as well.
One dish that's cooked the same but different as her mother's is the Sambal Goreng, a dish that's a standard bearer for all Malay rice stalls and goes well with Nasi Lemak. It's made with rempah, tempeh, tauquah and long beans or snake beans.
Okay, this tempeh want to make for sambal goreng, our sambal goreng. This one, we have to cut and after we fry. Okay, Redha.
Thanks. Sambal goreng coming up.
Tak boleh jadi basah.
Ha? Tak boleh.
Cannot be wet.
Sambal goreng, we use my mom's recipe, but my sister, she chopped her tofu and stuff more chunky, and she makes it less spicy. My mom's one has got more punch, more spice, and like more finely chopped.
See your hand and my hand. See, my hand every time like this, because the ingredient not the same.
Like my mom always says, different hands, so different taste.
Today, the parents have to cope with a large order of another breakfast item, mee siam goreng. Mee siam is unique to Singapore. The noodles are bihun or rice vermicelli, and these are fried in fragrant rempah and served in a soup that's full of tamarind and fermented yellow beans. Mee siam goreng is an iteration that's without the soup base. All the flavors are focused into the vermicelli. The Abdul Wahids have an order that must be ready for pickup before 10 a.m.
order for 15 packs. But I give extra double. I didn't like it lah. My order was
The daily heat and humidity accentuate the stress.
Oh, it's the weather so hot. It's only 32, it gets like, feels like 40, right?
The mayhem gets the sisters into their daily spat.
Oh, try it.
Why you cut into half? Don't have to cut into half.
Why don't you tell me how many pieces exactly then? My sister was throwing a tantrum because I didn't do something the way that she wanted to. Hello, you took my knife
All this talk of knives and cutting is just jinxing it.
Yeah. One time, my neighbor next door, he sliced off his whole thumb. He had to, it was his first day of work. He had to go to the hospital and then he came back the same day. Okay, now.
One hand down, the sisters cope with the morning tea break crowd in search of Nasi Lemak.
Is this where's the chili? Where's the sambal? Oh. You still need this? This?
No.
In recent years, Nasi Lemak, once a humble food, has come into the limelight, with many standalone stalls selling just this one dish. It's so popular that Shafiq, the man who sold burgers at a hawker center, has gotten into the game.
Initially, when we started doing burgers, we wanted to actually create a group. So this group, we wanted to actually do a few concepts. It could be local cuisine, it could be like Western cuisines. Why not do something which is a comfort food for everyone and they can actually eat it every day? I myself love Nasi Lemak. It's a comfort food for me. I can eat it every day.
On this particular day, however, food is far from his mind. An accident has occurred just outside his Nasi Lemak shop. As a police reservist, his civil defense instincts kick into action.
We actually launched a new Nasi Lemak shop called Sembarang. We actually do Nasi Lemak Minyak Sapi. It's not your regular Nasi Lemak.
Nasi Minyak Sapi is rice cooked either in beef fat or ghee, or both. It's a dish originally from Palembang, Sumatra.
So mainly the recipe, I would say, I got it from my grandma. And of course, it passed it down to my mom. So we actually melt the beef fats first before we actually put all the other ingredients inside.
The ingredients include onions and lemongrass and spices like cinnamon and cloves. The rice is cooked with evaporated milk and pandan leaves. The rice is served with plenty of sides. And do go overboard if you're going to platter it. Fried ikan bilis, chicken and beef rendang, sambal goreng, sambal sotong, paru or lungs, bergedel or potato cutlets, etc. The nasi minyak is a festive dish and there are no disputes about its roots. But there are plenty on the origins of Nasi Lemak. In Singapore, food is often a subject of quarrels. One family has an infamous feud over this little snack. Of all the varieties of curry puffs in Singapore, the one with spiral skin is the youngest. Some say it was developed in the late 1950s, and some say one of the originators is this man.
I'm
the second generation. My name is Ng Gan Yen. I'm now 51 years old, and I'm selling curry puff under Tanglin Crispy Curry Puff since 1952.
52年就開始做了，這個正正是無做咖喱包，潮州人呢叫酥餃、脆皮果、酥餃、包豆丁啦、豆沙啦、這個土豆腐啦。
So kiao are the crispy peanut-filled treats that usually pop up around Chinese New Year. The resemblance to a curry puff is undeniable. The spiral effect, however, comes from another Teochew pastry which Mr. Ng used to make, the tau sa piang. These are flaky pastries with all kinds of sweet and savory fillings, except curry. The pastry, called su pi, is made from two kinds of dough. Water dough is the standard flour, water, oil mix. This is called shui you pi in Mandarin. The other is called su you or sik yu in Teochew or oil dough in English. The two doughs are incorporated manually. It was this experience in tau sa piang that led Mr. Ng into the spiral puff.
嗰是沙豆餅鋪個橋就學咗個潮州餅，顧客嘅要求喎，食到我嘅推啊，顧客提議話：，誒，老闆啊，你會使裝淡薄，將你嘅推來配合這個咖喱包，慢慢。 我就做了，就是包咖喱包給推了。
Today, the second son shows off the same technique at the storefront.
Okay, this is my normal dough. So, and this is so-called su yu. So we mix this together in order to get more layer. Let me show you. When I make one up, I just put one. And then I roll it. I fold it. Cut it into half. This is how my curry puff become more layers over there. I'm very proud of my dad. Really, I'm very proud of my dad. He teach me a lot of things. I roll flat. I want to get all those suyu to get into this dough to make a curry puff. When I roll it this way, all the layers are inside. And now I'm going to put the ingredients into it. A slice of eggs. I cover it. I close it.
The curry puff is closed with a roped edging, known in Teochew as nyak.
There's two kinds of covering up the curry puff. One is you roll it and then it becomes like a rope, but mine is different. When I press it down, I leave a gap and then I press it down again. I think it's much more faster and nicer. When we fried it, it really doesn't seem so thick. After it fried, and you can see from here, there's a lot of layers inside. It's coming out automatically.
The curry puff stall is at Hong Lim Food Centre, but there's another similar one very nearby. Recently, the family changed its signage to avoid potential confusion. Same technique, same heritage, with a family feud that has made headlines. We'll say no more, except that family food fights are part and parcel of the hawker trade. What's binding is the skill, which every member of the family has to master, especially the nyap, the crimping technique.
What we say, nyap curry pork, not everybody can nail it very nicely, but I've been doing this 20 over years. So without looking, I still can do it very, very well.
Of course, when asked to show off, even a seasoned hand can be all thumbs.
Too fast.
As with many curry puffs of this style, the original filling was chicken and potato. This isn't cooked on location, but in a kitchen facility. Like many industrial kitchens in Singapore, it is housed in a multi-story building out in the suburbs.
This is the room where we prepare all our potatoes and how we peel the potatoes and how we cut the potatoes into cubes. We are using this machine to peel the potato because of easier way and faster way. So we will throw in all the potatoes and let it grind. See, all the skin have been dried, and later on, we were using a hand mix to cut off all those tails and heads.
Another machine has just arrived to make light work. The only problem is, it isn't working yet.
This is my brand new machine to cook all the ingredients. I'm not using this because it's just arrived. I only ordered one. Yeah, I have to call the wiring people to come and do all those wiring. And then the gas, we have to purposely make a very big gas here, over here, and heat it up. This is what my father usually they use. Wok is a 生铁, 生鼎. So this is a special one. It is very different from the normal wok. You can see from the normal wok, it's a very dark one. It's very hard to clean. So for this wok, it's very easy to clean and it can boost up the flavor. This one is my secret recipe, curry powder. I'm going to turn on the exhaust. It's very hot over here. And it's very loud. I can't speak anymore.
Hawkers often turn to flavors of the past to help them move forwards into the future. Will Singapore's street food heritage serve them well as they venture overseas? Their stories from a new frontier in the belly of a nation.